Welcome to episode 440 of the Thunder Underground podcast. Trent here as always, and we've got a great episode this week for Halloween week. Beast Eagle is here on the podcast. Two members of the band Beast Eagle joined me recently to talk about their great new EP and a lot of other stuff the band has going on. We're going to talk to Kate and Austin from Beast Eagle here in just a bit. And I thought, what better band to have on here Halloween week than an artist that is releasing an EP here in just a couple weeks, or about 3 weeks. They're releasing an EP called Sorceress that is a concept album about a witch. So, how more Halloween centric can you get than that? So there we go. We're going to talk all about the concept aspect to this album, the recording of this album, the writing, and well beyond this album with Austin and Kate here in just a bit. But first, I need to let you know who sponsors this podcast. DEB Concerts, a concert promoter based in the Tulsa area who has continually brought great concerts to Tulsa, and they've also booked the DEB concert stage at Rocklahoma for the last several years as well. They booked the pre-party at Rocklahoma, and like I said, they booked shows in downtown Tulsa throughout the years. They've been doing this for a long time now. Tons of great acts. This year at Rocklahoma featured Orianthi, Van Halen, Sebastian Bach, Lita Ford, Mike Tramp, Snakebite Whiskey, Dime Store Riot. So many other great ones on this stage. And Doug and DEB Concerts continues to bring great music to the Oklahoma area. So hit up debconcerts.com. Follow them on the socials so you don't miss upcoming info. And here at Thunder Underground, of course, I'll let you know every time a concert's coming as well. We've also got Sunset Tattoo, a tattoo shop located in Midtown Tulsa. They're state licensed, they're Native American owned, and they have a female artist on staff full time. 30 plus years of experience from Jake and his crew over there at Sunset Tattoo. I've had work done by Jake more than once. I'm super happy with everything that he's done for me, and I know many other people that have had work done at Sunset Tattoo. That also includes many artists from some bands you love, I promise you that, because Jake has tattooed a lot of rock and metal artists throughout the years as well. So hit up Sunset Tattoo on their socials. It's Sunset Tattoo Tulsa on both Facebook and Instagram. There's tons of photos on there so you can see all their work, see what they specialize in. If you've got an idea that you need help bringing to life, they can obviously help you with that. Send them a message, give them a call to set up a consultation time. They also accept walk-ins. They have specials running all the time, so follow them on those socials so you don't miss that, and let them know you heard about them right here on Thunder Underground. All right, like I mentioned up front, Beast Eagle has a brand new EP that's coming out here soon. It'll be out November 21st, called Sorceress. 5 tracks, and they've already released 3 of these tracks digitally, so you can check out, a good, and obviously a good cross-section, because it's 3/5 of the album, right? But you can go check that out right now. There's still 2 tracks to come. And I mentioned, I'll say this up front. I mentioned in the episode when we were talking that I think my favorite song is Witch Hunt, which is one of the tracks that hasn't been released yet. But after listening to this, a few more times since, the current single Sharp Tongue that just came out a couple weeks ago might be my favorite now. But again, that's a might. This is a very strong EP where all 5 songs are strong. You can pick out points in every single one of them that makes you think, well, this is my favorite track on this EP. And what more can you ask for, right? You want music like this to be able to, for you to be able to want to listen to, the full 20 minutes worth and not just say, well, I just like track 3. And, in this day and age, that's one of the things that, a lot of artists talk about as attention span of people, but that's neither here nor there in the point of the fact that this is a very solid EP. You can crank this thing all the way through, which, as you would expect from a band like this, great heavy rock, whatever you want to call it, stoner rock, groove rock, psych rock. They've got all the elements of those things. They've got other elements throughout this. Huge grooves, pounding rhythms, and those massive vocals from Kate. And I mentioned it briefly that this was kind of long overdue on getting her on this podcast, because we had talked about it, briefly, or I'd said, let's get you on the podcast. Probably that's as brief, as extensive as it was, but it was always one of those things in the back of my mind that I really want to get Kate on this podcast. And as time went by, it just kept slipping between the cracks on making that happen. And, dating back to the early days of this podcast, Jason and I talked about her previous band, Through the Stone, quite a bit over the course of several years. Got the chance to see them live a couple times, got the chance to, talk about their music. I got the chance to hang out with them again up there in Nebraska one time when I was on one of the Booze, Bars, and Guitars tours that I did with Dusty Grant and Sprout the Anti-Hero. Kate and her husband came out to that, Chris, and we got to, hang out quite a bit then as well, but that now has been 6 years ago, I believe, at least. Yeah, it was the summer of 2019, so over 6 years ago. And Kate now is a part of Beast Eagle, as is Toby, who was in Through the Stone as well. So, a cool kind of transition there from, my side of being a fan of Kate and Toby's previous work, and now seeing them as part of Beast Eagle and their great work that they're doing with this EP. And hopefully, on a personal standpoint, hopefully I get the chance to see them live at some point. Like they talk about, they're looking, to make their way down this way where I'm at, and I'm sure many other places as well. If you're up there in the Nebraska area, I'm sure you've heard them or seen them before. I saw that they won Best Hard Rock Band in the Omaha area this year. I know that Kate had won that in the past, and I believe Beast Eagle was won that in the past before this year as well. From my minimal research on that subject, but very cool to see. And cool to see what they've got going on. Like we talk about in here, they're, a part of Golden Robot Records. So they've got a lot of help here now in helping to push the sound and the music of Beast Eagle to people around the world. So hopefully, as the years pass, next time Kate or Austin or anyone from Beast Eagles on this podcast, we're talking about, hey, how was your European tour with He Is Legend and Mastodon? I don't know. Something like that would probably be a very cool aspect for the members of Beast Eagle and myself to be able to talk about one day. So that's what we're looking for, right, guys? All right. If this is your first time listening, I really appreciate it. Give me a like or follow, subscribe wherever you're listening right now. There's been a lot of other episodes throughout the years of this podcast with members of bands that fall into this kind of, line and vein, like Kirk Winstein from Crowbar and Down, Jimmy Bower from I Hate God and Down, members of Superjoint, He Is Legend, and many other bands throughout the years. I'll talk more about that later. But appreciate you being here if you showed up because you're a fan of Beast Eagle. But in the meantime, if that's why you're here, let's get to it. Here is Kate and Austin of Beast Eagle. Like I literally just looked at your Facebook like 5 minutes ago and saw you guys went to the Sword Warp Riders show the other night. Like I was super bummed that came here like when I was out of town. So how great was that show?
It was a good show. It was heavy. It was loud. It was great, actually.
Yeah, played a really killer set. Mixed in a couple of different things. Other than, obviously that album, but no, they were ripping. Rickshaw Billy's Burger Patrol was killer as usual. Like, it was a great show.
Very cool.
I'm glad to see them back again.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was super bummed that they took a hiatus. I had Kyle Shutt. I had him on the podcast like literally the first year I started this, like a decade ago.
That's pretty fantastic.
Jumping into Beast Eagle, you guys got Sorceress coming out here in November. It'll be about 2.5 years after the self-titled EP. How do you feel this kind of progresses your guys' sound and the direction you guys are looking to go?
I mean, the first EP we put out, they had all that written before I joined. And so it was a little bit of a challenge for me trying to come in and write vocals to, the instrumentals. But this one, I don't know, for me personally, it just feels like, I don't know, I feel a lot more organized. I feel a lot more confident in like the direction we're going and my writing and vocals on it. I just feel a lot more confident, a lot more grown up. I think I've learned a lot with my writing and working with Make Believe and Rick and Ryan over there when we were recording. They really pushed me hard to write and just do better. So I feel really good about it. What do you think?
It was a lot of time in writing. We threw probably 2 or 3 songs to the side because they just weren't fitting this the feel of this album. And since we were going for a concept on this one, it definitely was a little bit of a challenge to kind of figure out which way to go with everything. But I think all in the end, the layout turned out fantastic. I mean, we're really happy with it. We've grown a lot as a band. And just getting tighter and learning each other a little better every day has been fantastic. We're definitely excited to get to writing more and more. I think it's all locking in really, really well. So,
Going off what Kate just said, Austin, do you notice a difference, like as far as since this one was written with Kate in the process as well? Like, how do you feel this, makes this one a little, does it make it stronger in your eyes, or how do you feel about that?
Yeah, man. Obviously when Will and I started the band, we didn't really have any idea on if we were going to stay an instrumental or not. I try to write things that still have balance, so you still kind of hear some kind of regular pattern of choruses, verses, bridges, things of that nature. But now that we have Kate in, it's a lot easier to kind of go back and forth with her and try to figure out how we want to structure everything together. If things need to be longer so that she can put in more of a storyline for the verse and things like that. It definitely brings a different perspective to how we put the songs together now. So it has been a new view on it, but I've enjoyed working with Kate the whole time. It's been fantastic.
Trent, they didn't even, if you would have asked them if they would have had a female vocalist, these guys would have told me to fuck off. Like, hilarious. Actually, the first time I met them, they were playing a show, and it was like COVID was kind of rearing down, so we were able to go back into venues finally wearing masks, but they were like the only band playing, and we were all so pumped just to go and like listen to music. And so after the show, I walked up to him and Will, and I was like, I had some drinks. I had some confidence in me, and I like walk up and I was like, "Hi, I'm Kate. I'm your new lead singer." And they just fucking like laughed at me, like, "Sure," A year later, they actually decided they needed a vocalist and like auditioned people, but hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Was that, I guess, Austin, was that the spark of what led you to bringing in a vocalist, or was it already a thought process before Kate said that?
I think it was. We were playing a lot of shows and doing really well as like an instrumental band, but every time we got off stage, it would be really cool if you guys got a vocalist, and we got so annoyed hearing it. We were like, you know what, man, let's just try something out. And she hit us up again and was like, "Oh, I want to come try out." And we were like, I mean, sure. You want to? I was like, I'm gonna be real honest. I don't really care for female vocalists and like heavier music. It's just not my flavor. And no, once she came over, it like blew our minds. We were like, you know what? We don't need to try anybody else out. Let's just go with her. It's a workout. So, yeah.
Do you guys still play any of the instrumental tracks in the live setting?
No, but everything. So the 5 that were, it's an 8-song album that we did, and 5 of them we've already redone with Kate. And that was that last EP. And then the label actually wants us to go back and do the other 3 that we didn't hit. And so we're actually going to get in the studio actually really, really soon here within the next month, and get those songs, the other 3 re-recorded, and then Kate will lay down new vocals on those too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that going to be like for an independent EP in itself, or have you thought that far?
I think they'll just be like quick little single drops. We're just kind of pushing out a little space, and then we already started writing on the next like actual album. So yeah, we're just kind of gonna drop these just as like some excess material and keep that momentum moving.
You mentioned the EP Sorceress being a concept. Like, talk a little bit about the story of this witch, or whatever, or at least what you're willing to reveal from 3 of the 5 songs that are out.
First of all, writing a concept album is really hard. Like, it's so hard. Like, I usually just write a song how it makes me feel, and writing a story like chapter by chapter is so challenging. But really, really proud of it. Story wise, it is about a witch. Like, from the first song to the last song, her trying to, she has powers. Like, what is this? And what do I do with this? I'm scared of it, all the way to the end where they burn her ass. Like, the 4th song, I switched the perspective from like the villagers' perspective. And what's good, every song is a chapter of what's going on in the story. And 2 have been out. The 3rd one comes out on Friday, and that'll be the first song. So chapter 1 comes out Friday, and it's called Sharp Tongue. But yeah, it's chapter by chapter what she's going through, from gaining powers to, what the fuck am I doing? And now I like it. And yeah, it was tough though, writing a story and looking up a lot of like history, so I didn't sound like an idiot writing and trying to be relevant and still, it was tough, but it's good. I really like the story. I really love these songs. I think it came out really well, and
we try to just leave Kate alone when she's writing. She gets mad at us when we just bother her over and over. Each time Kate would come and try out new ideas and new lyrics with the story to go along with, it really brought a different light to kind of how we were playing and the dynamics we wanted to show as we kind of read over lyrics and kind of what she was doing with it. So the storyline is, it's so much fun, and it's such a big build as it goes through from track to track. And I definitely say we could be happier with how everything kind of laid itself out. But yeah, concepts are crazy complicated. It's definitely not something I would do like over and over again. So
like, Kate, did you write the like story out like as a loose concept and then and then turn it into lyrics, or did you just start writing lyrics and then form it that way?
No, we knew what we wanted to do, so I knew I had to write it out carefully, first song through the 5th song. So I was strategic in writing the story, and then figuring out how I break that up into 5 sections with one story, and then build off of that. But yeah, I had a big idea, and we all talked about it and agreed on it, and then trying to divide it up into 5 sections, and how do I build the story. And the 4th song was just kind of fun, like, let's switch it up and make it from their point of view, like they're trying to find her, she's not going to escape, she's not going to take this town alive, it's no, but yeah, I had to be organized, I had to be strategic in each chapter, and it was tough. I don't recommend it at all.
Well, Austin, were you writing riffs, at the same time, or did you wait until you saw these lyrics to get inspired, or like how did the combination go of fitting this into the music?
So Some of these songs had been written previous to with an old bassist,
Okay.
that we hadn't like brought anything out. But I had ideas for quite a few of them, and as I said, like we threw a couple songs out. So in the end, we had probably 7 or 8, and then it started kind of moving around with, well, where are we going to put each one? Like what's going to be track 1? What's going to be track 5? How are we going to lay this all out? So until we were done with the songs, Kate didn't know which songs were going to be what chapter. So there was a lot of like finishing writing. We still tweaked things as time kind of went on, before we went in the studio, but trying to figure out what 5 songs were going to be this EP. That part was complicated. I know we went back and forth on switching around the set and trying to figure out where we are going to put everything. But yeah, I had most of it like written, laid out in my head. I did know that we were going to do the concepts. I just didn't know exactly kind of which way we were going to go about it. So, but yeah, as I write, I kind of end up locking myself in my own head and listening to like a certain band. Like all of these songs had their own other name before they had the track titles, and I usually just name them by whatever band I'm listening to as I'm writing the song. So we
Okay.
had like the Sword song and like the He Is Legend song and the Baroness song, and yeah, so
Every band does that though.
no, keep it.
Yeah, they always write instrumentally, and then I'll slap on some lyrics in there. I don't usually write lyrics before, and then I always write to them after they're done. But they had songs, we had to figure out which ones we wanted to use for this EP. Yeah, they always write first, and then I go.
So were you here? Did you listen to music when you were writing these lyrics at all? Or was it like, because I feel like that would be hard to like write, like you said, write out these lyrics in a story 5-piece format and then try to like make sure it works with your voice and the cadence over this music.
Yeah, it is hard. It's tough.
Yeah.
No, they had a great selection of instrumental songs that I hadn't written yet, and Austin is like a vault of songs, and so we just had to pick the ones that we thought would work and that had that build up and had the right sound, and pick the 5 that were the most cohesive, and then I went in and after we picked them and we figured out which ones that we wanted to use, I went in and started writing the story for those songs. So
Well,
yeah.
you mentioned the fourth song a minute ago, and that I love all 5 of these tracks, but if I had to pick one, Witch Hunt is
Oh,
probably my
really?
favorite. And
Oh,
I just,
really?
yeah, I mean, everything, I mean, throughout this whole EP, like, Austin, your riffs, are really unique. Obviously, Kate, your voice is really unique, but just something about that song jumped out even more to me. So, speak a
Mm.
little bit about that one and, where it lies in the EP for you.
That's interesting. You like that one the best. I didn't know. Like it's interesting to hear which ones people like. I'm always surprised by that. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's from the villagers' point of view as they're hunting her, and they're um yeah, I mean it's the chase. It's they're gonna fucking find her, and they're gonna kill her and burn her. Like, uh but no, I love that, the switching the perspective and changing it up a little bit, and um I don't know, it's heavy, but it's also melodic, and there's lots of little fun background vocals I did in that were kind of more airy and light, and then it gets real heavy, like I don't know, it's probably one of my favorites too, melodically, with all the harmonies and layers. um
Yeah, it's definitely a out of the 5. I feel it's definitely the most different out of the 5. The ending switches itself quite a bit. from the starting of the song. I think there's a lot of like crazy, weird dynamic in that song. And so it's definitely always super fun to play out live and things like that. Uh, yeah. That was oddly the He Is Legend song, as we called it,
Okay.
before it had an actual title. And so I did get a lot of influence from them on that track as I was kind of writing that one out, trying to bring in kind of some weird different things as each part kind of went on. There's a lot of like high and low octave spots that we do live with one of my pedals, and so it does have its own like different sound, especially like live. It's a ton of fun to play and get loud with.
You got to
So.
see that song live, Trent.
You said you haven't done it?
Oh, I said you got to see that song
Oh,
live.
see it live. Okay.
The
Yeah.
end, your hex, your charms, your little spells won't save you from what dwells. Like it's heavy, but it's melodic and big. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, but man, it was a challenge. But yeah, song 4 is kind of that wild card. I didn't know really how people would respond to it, but yeah, that's interesting. It's your favorite. I love hearing that.
Yeah. Well, with this being a story of these 5 songs, do you guys plan? I mean, a lot of times when bands release concept albums, they're not going to play them fully. But with this, setting at about 20 minutes, do you guys envision yourself just playing these 5 songs straight through in sequence, or?
Yeah, we do. We feel like the set we play now, we play these 5 songs with usually one or two, given the time of our older ones. Yeah, we play them in order, don't we?
We play them in order. We do mix in. I think it's usually like the first 3 we run straight through, and then we kind of bring in some old stuff in between, and then back to the last 2. So we do keep it pretty much in order. I think in our heads the whole time. Well, obviously, it's a little bit of a shorter EP, and we usually play a little bit longer than that, but it is a ton of fun to actually play those like straight through. And I think in our heads, as we were getting ready to go record it, I think we're such a live band. We had it in our heads that it was going to be this epic, go all the way through and make it so cool, and it's going to bring this ambiance on stage and everything. And so we definitely had that idea of playing it just straight through as a like live concept. Has that happened just yet? We've mixed it up here and there, and we play all 5 already and out and about, but it'll be cool once we can kind of lock it down for an actual live show.
Like the artwork on this EP and the 3 singles is very cool, of course, keeping with the theme. And I noticed that, I believe that's you, Austin, right? That did the artwork? Yeah. Like, are you a graphic designer?
No, I'm a tattoo artist.
Okay.
So I didn't, a lot of that was just kind of concept setups. The use of AI today is wild and crazy.
Right.
And so there was a lot of just kind of taking from that and then tweaking things. But we really wanted like a real strong, dark image for that cover. I think it nails it pretty well. The artwork that comes out for each song that's been getting dropped was the same way. Everything had to have like a setup theme. Obviously we chose a redhead for a witch because both Kate and I are redheads, so why not? Just keep that fun part going. But yeah, no, the artwork was a ton of fun to lay out. We've had newer kind of things where one of the guys at my shop had did our last art for the beer that we dropped. And so that was really cool, and we'll actually be putting that on a t-shirt. I do like to use friends of mine for artwork and things like that a lot, especially just being in the tattoo community. I have so many fantastic friends that are such amazing artists. It's weird doing your own art for your own band. Like our main Beast Eagle logo I made like years ago. And that's about the only one that I actually have enjoyed like laying out. I've done a couple of our t-shirts and things like that, but I'm always just kind of staring at it going, I don't know, man, I don't know. So I usually do try to use other people for the art for the most part, but I don't know, this concept kind of just I didn't really want to mess around too much, and I had like a certain vision in my head of kind of how I wanted to see it. So but I'm really happy with how each piece turned out. It's been cool.
Mm-hmm. They all look cohesive.
Yeah.
They all have a real distinct look to them, this old, dark,
Renaissance-esque kind of look.
Yeah, we like how they all came out. They're dope.
I can kind of relate to that as far as, I feel like you probably put more pressure on ourselves when it's like our own product, even though, when you're doing something for someone else, it's like, you want it to look good, but you're free of that, like, or what are people going to think of this, because it's coming from me. I assume that's the same as like when you're self-producing music as opposed to bringing in an outside producer to get their perspective as well, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're our own worst critic, that's for sure.
Right. You just mentioned that beer, and I saw that you guys dropped that like a month or two ago. Like, was that like a one-time limited thing, or is this still available?
You can still get it. Jukes has done this twice with us.
Okay.
So we dropped a beer 2 years ago.
The last album.
Yeah. And that was like a red IPA. And that was a ton of fun. We sat with him and he went through, how he wanted to taste and how strong do we want it and all that kind of stuff. Here's the coloration of it. The beer, oddly enough, ended up being like a 6.66, which was hilarious, and had like a reddish tone to it. So, it definitely felt like a Beast Eagle beer. So this time we decided to go with like a dark lager, which Kyle at Jukes kind of had a few things kind of moving forward. And so we actually just went out there and tried a couple of different ones that he kind of had just about ready, and we decided on this one. It was an easy drinker. It's kind of like a dark Modelo, and then we had Tobias that I work with do the artwork for it, and had kind of a chained up witch. Yeah. So, and it his graphic designer added a little bit of color just for the can, and absolutely love it. It's been a really popular one here. Obviously smaller run, but I think we'll try to keep putting out new beers with Jukes over and over. I think they're a really fun release and a cool promo to get to do. How awesome is it to have your own beer?
Yeah, we've made it, Trent. We've made it now. You have beer.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't get much more official than that. A lot of, major bands, there's only a handful you can think of that have beer or whiskey or something,
Oh, if I can find a distiller, I'm doing a whiskey, that's for sure. But we just haven't come across that person yet. So,
so you're more of a whiskey guy? Or?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he is. It was really fun. We got to go into Jukes and work with the guys there and the staff there, and we went and canned it and watched the labels go on and got them, like we were all in the line and working. And he, like, when he does projects or whatever beers, he'll have whoever he's doing it for come in and almost like work for the day. Like, it makes great like promo. We took a lot of videos and pictures of us like working on the line.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of fun. They're just a great family-run business, and the beers are fantastic. So we love working with them and are grateful. And it was so fun releasing that beer like the same week we released our first one on. I mean, it was perfect timing. We nailed it. It was great, and the beer is actually really good. It was fun.
You wouldn't want to put your name on something that tasted like Keystone Light or something, right?
Yeah. Well, we had to do the IPA first because they wanted some gnarly IPA, and I'm like, I freaking hate IPAs. So the deal, like we need something like a lager or something. So I was really happy with this beer. It's great. And we've gotten it in our like local bars here. So we can go to our favorite bars and sip on a sorceress and it's just badass. Love it.
Yeah. And that always makes for good, yeah, like you said, social media content. If you can walk in a place that you're hanging out or playing and they've got your beer there. Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
it's awesome. So fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the music's cool, but man, we have a beer.
Right. Yeah, you also mentioned the record label earlier, and this is your first release with Golden Robot Records. Like, how's that partnership been like so far for you guys?
This is actually it's actually second
Oh, is
release.
it? Oh, okay. Sorry.
We kind of had so we had two labels before. So Golden Robot was kind of like the top affiliate, but we had like an independent label of theirs called Ironhead Records. That's kind of how we dropped this first EP that Kate was on. And then everything kind of switched out and they put us onto the actual big boy label for Golden Robot for this last release. And they've been a ton of fun to work with. As an Australian label, it's always interesting to, get on the phone where it'll be 7 a.m. there and 5 or 6 p.m. here, and so it's always kind of a trip for us. But Matt's been great to work with, and they've definitely helped push the album in new ways, and getting to talk with them about future plans and things like that has been really exciting. We're stoked to kind of push things out and hopefully get to moving out of country to tour. And that would be fantastic. I mean, that would definitely be the dream of it all. And having an international label definitely gets that a little more in perspective of possibilities for us. So,
yeah, they've talked about bringing us down to Australia and doing like a 4.5 week tour on the East Coast there. So we'll see. But yeah, it's been really great working with a bigger label and seeing what they can do and using their outlets and connections and seeing the feedback and seeing the PR and the interviews we've been doing it's been fun. Like as a little band, you only have so many resources getting your music out there. So having the help and having a label behind us, it's been all good. We need it. Little bands need it. It's hard getting stuff out there without the help of, it's been good.
With today's technology, obviously, you could work with anyone across the world and it, have the impact in different places in the world. But does Golden Robot, do they have a focus on Australia where they're going to be pushing your music there, or are they just focused more on getting music out internationally?
I would say more internationally.
Okay.
We've seen a lot of feedback from all over.
Poland.
Poland. A lot of listeners in Poland right now.
Yeah, and Norway and things like that. It seems we're a much more popular band out over there, which cool. Hell yeah. It's odd to see like a reach like that. Like where did all that pop up from? So, they definitely have a lot of connections over throughout the UK and throughout those areas. So, I definitely have noticed, like looking at our numbers and things like that, you start to notice a lot more other countries kind of pulling on to Beast Eagle, which is awesome and rad, makes you feel real cool. So
yeah, traditionally, I mean, heavy music has always thrived more around the world than it has in America, outside of just points in time. So I mean, I feel like something like that could only help you guys if you got a label that's pushing you internationally like this.
Yeah, it's a big help. Very grateful. Any help is good. I mean,
Right.
trying to just put your music out there. Like, we all need a little help. You could be a really great band, and it's still sometimes at the end of the day about who you know. And No, it's nice. It's nice having the help. Makes
Yeah.
it different.
Like, have you guys looked too far into the future outside? You said like those, the 3 songs you're reworking. Are you going to focus on EPs as you continue going, or is there thoughts on, putting together a full album?
It goes back and forth so much just because the way that music drops work nowadays. Everybody's basically waterfalling an album. You're trying to keep an algorithm moving, and so I mean, the thoughts of dropping like one full album, I don't even know if it matters anymore, honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody could just drop singles forever at this point, and at least you just keep getting new music. Because sadly, it's about numbers, and that's what sucks about this new world and how we've pushed this media at this point is that I feel like it's so much less about people's music. It's just about, well, how do we get those numbers up? Got to make sure we got those numbers, and so as time moves forward, like I would like to like lay out an entire full album. It's always fun. Are we gonna do another concept? No,
No.
we're not.
No.
No, hell no.
But we've got a lot of new songs ready. I've got like quite a bit of material kind of sitting in my, I don't know, music phone vault that I've been sitting on and ready to use. I've been taking in a lot more like progressive music and trying to feed into a lot of different genres and styles. And so I think as the new stuff kind of moves on, it's definitely going to get a bit weirder, but stay like very heavy. As as Rick Carson said that we work with for this last album to record, he was like, remember, you're Beast Eagle. Like, think about that name, sound like Beast Eagle.
Beast Eagle.
So, never forget that concept. But, we do want to kind of pull into some, a lot of different like heavy genres and things like that and take some stuff that may not be considered heavy and make it heavy. So, I think the new stuff that we're going to drop is going to be a ton of fun. I think it's going to get a very good response out of it. Yeah, the new stuff's going to be a blast. It's some wild sounding things. So,
well, putting out an EP is a lot more cost efficient too. Like recording a full length album it's a lot. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of money. So putting out EPs, waterfalling them single by single, keeping up the momentum I've never done like a waterfall release. I've always just released albums and it's great. It's always like a big party. And then you watch like the momentum kind of die until you release a whole other album. So doing it this way and having a song come out every 4 weeks until it's all like, it's so exciting. Like as soon as the excitement kind of slows down from the one you released, it's already time for another one to come out. And then I don't know, I really enjoyed this, method of releasing music. I do. And like you said, I don't know if like releasing a full length album versus an EP even matters anymore when you're kind of going about releasing music this way. So I don't know. We've talked about doing another or a full length, but I don't know. It's more efficient. It's more cost efficient putting out EPs and we'll see. Our label might just tell us you have to put out a full-length album. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like that's been a topic, a conversation that comes up in any podcast I've done the last few years, especially with the kind of changing climate of that. And even like, a lot of bands have kind of shifted that route. Like I just spoke to the bass player of Trivium like an hour before we started talking, and they have an EP coming out in a couple weeks. And he said, 3 songs give him the same impact that a full album would. So
yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, not to mention like most bands aren't playing longer than maybe 30 minutes on stage, which usually is solid, but like if you drop a whole album, say like 8 songs, you can't even play the whole album live to people.
Right.
And then you also had the old songs that they wanted to hear. So then you're like, what do we play, like one off of the new album and then we're back to the old stuff? Like, well, that kind of ruins it, doesn't it? So, like, I think it's probably easier just to keep dropping, 3 to 5 song EPs. It's fun. At least you can rip those on stage real quick and, go.
What
Yeah.
are you gonna play?
We already, at this point, we don't even have that many songs, but like, we get up on stage and we're like, crap, which ones we throwing out? Like, no, we don't get to play that, man. Come on, man. I want to play that one though. So
35 minutes.
Has there been like 1 or 2 songs that you've kind of like been your calling card that you make sure are always in your sets?
Yes, he does.
Okay.
Open Sky usually stays put.
Everybody wants to hear that song.
Yeah. So that one, and we love playing it. It's always super fun. That one usually stays put. And then Illuminate usually stays put from the old EP just because the
ending is a monster.
The ending is a monster. We, I like to get real crazy and almost hit Kate in the head with my guitar pretty much every single show.
He wants to play.
I haven't done it yet, but
really close.
Really close.
Really
like real close. And so I think that energy is always super fun to end with. And it always, we get done playing and, people will just start walking up like, what was that? Oh my God. And so, we always want to get off stage and people just go, damn. And that song really brings it for that ending. And that could change as time keeps moving on. With all these new tracks that we're going to be bringing out, it does get hard to choose your set list. It's complicated, but try to keep that energy. You kind of figure out what kind of show you're playing, because we do get booked with a lot of different bands, anything from straight death metal to quite a bit lighter rock, and so choosing that set list for kind of the people that'll be there, it's kind of fun, but it does make you kind of move around and cut things that you didn't really want to cut out. So
yeah, we get thrown in a lot of weird shows because they don't quite know what genre we're in. I know,
right?
Neither do we. But pretty fun. We always get really great feedback, whether it's a metal show or a lighter rock show, or we always seem to gain fans no matter where we're playing and whatever bill we're on. Sometimes I get a little nervous, like, shit, like I'm the only female on the bill and we're right in the middle of metal. And I'm like, okay. But that we always seem to win them over and get really great feedback. And it's good. I can't wait to be able to see us live, or we can get down there, and we throw in a lot of fun stuff during our set. I'll put in a lot of big high notes, and it's good. We get a lot of great feedback, and it's been a lot of fun playing these songs and going through this release of the EP. It's been good.
Do you feel like the shows where it's a little, like you said, lighter rock, or a little bit kind of removed from what you guys do? Do you feel like the response has been like noticeably, you're getting good response, but do you notice like in those fans of other genres coming up to you more often at those kind of shows?
Yeah, I'm always like the most surprised with the metal fans. We always seem to really like win them over. They're always like pleasantly surprised. And I think they come in with the focus on the headliner, and then we go up and they're like, what the fuck was that? And it was great. And they're like buying our t-shirts and stuff. And no, it's been good. It's always so great to see like a big reaction and these surprised looks and faces. And you could tell they had no idea who we were. And
you get a lot of like that. This is like really refreshing. I think like a lot of the stoner rock bands, keep, every show they show up to, that opening band is always a very close version of what they're doing already. And so, you know, when we come out, it's always just a very different kind of sound going on from what I'm sure they're used to on tour. And whether it's, you know, lighter rock or, you know, the death metal shows, like we see everybody of every kind of run come up and just kind of blown away. Like, whoa, that was, that's not really my cup of tea, but that was fantastic. Super fun. Like, hell yeah.
We're always the wild card.
Yeah.
So yeah, we get a lot of really fun, genuine reactions, and their feedback at the merch table is always so nice and so complimentary. And yeah, they're always just surprised and shocked. And yeah, you can see it. Well, I almost can't like look out there at people because I'll like giggle. Like they're like they're like surprised faces. It's pretty good. Yeah.
Like
So
dudes
fun.
in Cannibal Corpse shirts, like staring
Yes,
at you like, I can't believe this is awesome.
Exactly.
You could see they were like about to head towards the door. They were like, "Oh, I'm gonna go smoke this entire time." They're like, "Whoa, hold up."
No, we're gonna stay. Yeah, you almost can't even like watch because it like will make me freaking laugh my ass off up there.
I've been bringing up in everything I've done the last couple months is Ozzy, because it's obviously a huge figure in the world of heavy music. And
Yeah.
Kate, I know you covered Wicked World with Through the Stone and Austin. I can't imagine that you're not at least have an appreciation for Tony Iommi, you know, with your playing style. So like talk a bit
Oh, yeah.
about the impact Ozzy or Sabbath had on each of you guys. Like, is your development getting into, you know, rock and hard rock and metal?
I mean, I think he was a big influence for most of us in the rock and roll world. I was more like a Sabbath fan, in that style and his vocals. Yeah, I would say I was definitely influenced by that sound. Yeah, man, that was hard to lose him. God, that one hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A shitty month.
Yeah. I think the, you know, impact that, you know, anything from, you know, early Sabbath days all the way out to the things that were released now. You know, it was a hard one for everybody to lose, and you really, over the years, everybody's at least taken a little bit from any of those bands that Ozzy had projected over the years. I don't even understand how you couldn't.
Right?
You know, he had such a unique sound, and you hear it in so many other bands. And it's cool that you know you get to see Zach kind of carrying things on, and that's always nice. You know, over every band has been coming back now, which is funny. But you know, you never want to like let any of that die. I mean, people that were just pop punk fans felt horrible to see Ozzy go. You know, Tony Iommi was a ripper of a guitarist too, man. Like I've listened to so much stuff from him over the years. Love his gear, that tone. Like I definitely can say I've bought gear just because he's had it kind of stuff over the years. So definitely a heavy influence for sure in my stoner rock head. So you know it's definitely a big impact, man. But also he's you know been around forever. You know can't live on.
Yeah.
I mean shit, man. All the legends are slowly fading away, but
Nobody makes it out alive. You know?
no, sad to say.
No, that was
Yeah.
hard to see him go.
And the good thing about, you know, musicians is that the music's going to be here forever anyway. So
That's right.
For sure.
yeah.
That's right.
Are you,
Oh,
Austin,
dude.
are you a fan of Rush?
Oh yeah.
I figured,
Yeah.
you know, on your playing style, but like, did you see that announcement today?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Hold on. I might have missed. I know that I've read somewhere that Alex Lifeson was doing a new project.
And what are you
No,
talking
Rush announced this morning that they're going on tour next year.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, a reunion 50 something years of tour or whatever. It's like they announced like 8 or 10 cities, and I already forgot the drummer's name, but it wasn't Danny Carey or Mike Portnoy like everyone thought. It's a woman that's kind of more known in like the jazz fusion world.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
That's awesome.
Heck yeah.
That'll be so
Yeah, man, I'm a big Rush fan. I love prog music in every way. Like even like Yes was a massive influence on me as well. We were literally at the bar last night playing
Sure was.
playing Yes really loud. But yeah, man. I mean, I know Will, our drummer, big Neil Peart fan, and that was a very sad thing to see, and him go. It's a big shoes to fill, and so good for her for pushing hard, because man, I mean, you got to have some skills to play any part of Rush.
Yeah.
So
That drops on you.
Mm-hmm. So that'll be cool. Yeah, very excited. That'll be a fantastic tour to see. Definitely one you probably don't want to miss. So
yeah, for sure.
I bet that's gonna sell out every single show.
Yeah, especially if they put Beast Eagle on it, man.
Yeah.
Man. Hey Trent, can you get Beast Eagle on one of those Rush shows, please?
Yeah, I'll see what I can do. I'll work on like the whole tour, not just one show.
Right. Yeah. There you go.
Perfect.
Right on, guys. Well, I'm loving Sorceress, and I really appreciate you guys coming on here to talk to me. It's Kate, and I know this is long overdue. We've talked about this 7 or 8 years ago, so I'm glad we finally did this.
Yeah, me too. I was really excited that you were back in town and had a little time for us. And I was telling them about the Thunder Underground and the great artists you've had on there over the years. And we appreciate you and what you do for music and all the artists, the little guys, big guys. I want to come down to Tulsa and play down there. So I'm working on it. Well, all right, friend. It was so good to talk to you.
Yeah, you as well. Great to meet you, Austin. Great to talk to you, Kate.
For sure, man.
There you go, Kate and Austin, vocalist and guitarist of the band Beast Eagle. Austin, of course, is an original co-founding member of the band, and Kate's now been there for a few years at least, about 3 years, I think. You can check out Sorceress coming up here November 21st. There's already 3 singles out you can check out. You can check out their previous EP that came out in 2023, as well as their album that came out in 2021, previous to Kate being in the band. But yeah, check all that stuff out. Be on the radar for Sorceress coming. Follow the band on all their socials so you don't miss any future updates from Beast Eagle. If you're in the Nebraska area, you should probably grab that beer we were just talking about. I'd love to get a chance to taste that myself. But yeah, Beast Eagle, Sorceress, coming soon. A huge thank you to Kate and Austin for taking that time out there to talk to me about everything the band's got going on. And yeah, if this is your first time listening, greatly appreciated. 439 episodes previous to this that you can check out. Like he mentioned in there at the beginning of the interview there, The Sword, way back, Kyle Shutt from The Sword was on this podcast. Skylar from He Is Legend has been on this podcast twice. That guy is really entertaining and extremely cool dude to talk to. It's been quite a while. I'd love to have him back on the podcast again one day. Kirk Winstein from Crowbar and Down. Jimmy Bauer from Superjoint and Down and I Hate God. Steven Taylor from Superjoint. In fact, when we were recording the Superjoint or the Jimmy Bauer episode, was at a concert in Oklahoma City that Superjoint was playing. And so that means, of course, Phil Anselmo was there as well. And he is on that episode for about 60 seconds. You know, he walks in while we're doing the interview, makes a comment or two, and steps back out. So there you go. Phil Anselmo has technically been on this podcast. But other big names that have, David Elfson from Megadeth's been on a couple times. Frank Hannon from Tesla has been on 5 times. members of Death Angel, Testament, Toxic Holocaust, Creator, Journey, Def Leppard, Warrant, Whitesnake, Motley Crue, if you love that vein of music, Bon Jovi, Def Leppard, Twisted Sister, Queensryche. Also more modern rock radio stuff like Shinedown, Breaking Benjamin, Skillet, Three Doors Down, Hellstorm, members of Lynyrd Skynyrd, Deep Purple, Thin Lizzy, Alice Cooper's band. The list is extremely long, and it also includes members of Corrosion of Conformity, Life of Agony, Typo Negative, Helmet, Prong, White Zombie, if you love that 90s New York metal. Just recently had on Billy from Biohazard, which was extremely cool. Love that episode. Other recent episodes include Paolo from Trivium, was on the most recent episode. Well, the most recent episode was unfortunately the tribute to Ace Frehley and Sam Rivers, the loss of those two guys. But the most recent guest was Paolo from Trivium before that. Also, Rob Rivera from Nonpoint was on recently. Michael Kiske from Halloween. Mike Tramp of White Lion. And so many others. Dig back through there. Wherever you're listening right now, hit follow, like, subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. TheThunderUnderground.com. You can listen right there. You can also find all the socials. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok all have daily content, which is live videos, historical videos, news, clips from this podcast, all different kinds of stuff that are separate from this podcast as well. So follow on all the socials, and anytime you see a post, whether it's a reel, whether it's a podcast episode post, if you just hit like, share, or if you comment on it, that's a great, easy way to help this podcast get spread around in people's algorithms. All right, again, it's Halloween week, so if you're the type to celebrate, I hope you have a great spooky weekend or whatever, direction you want that to go. Personally, I am out working a festival in Florida, a Halloween-themed event called Halloween, which is always a fun time. So in the very, very slim chance that you're listening to this podcast and you're at Halloween, try to find me. But if not, anytime you're out and about in the Oklahoma area or any of the festivals that I mentioned that I'm out at, and you see me, hit me up. I've got tons of merch, stickers, koozies, magnets, guitar picks, shot glasses, t-shirts, all that great stuff. Shoot me a message. And again, anytime you see something posted, drop a comment. Love to hear from you guys. All right, once again, a massive thank you to DEB Concerts, Sunset Tattoo, and of course, Austin and Kate of Beast Eagle. And until next time.
Thunder Underground, y'all.